Birmingham has surrendered to the migrant gang crisis. This comes on the back of all of the problems in Glasgow. And I'm going to tell you tonight how Labour MPs have taken their eye off the ball. What you're about to hear is going to leave you deeply stunned. I know there was a video about Ant Middleton railing against the army having to come in to deal with the migrant gang rubbish. Tonight, I'm going to talk to you about even more. Hello everyone, this is Andre Walker. Thanks so much for watching. Please do subscribe, hit the bell notification icon. Also, please do donate to the Patriot Fund. There's more details at the end. I don't want to bore you right now, but everyone who joins our mailing list, and we're going to build, well, not build, we're going to save this country together. Okay, so in the midst of everything that's taking place in Birmingham, and let's just remind ourselves what it is. The council has gone bankrupt. There is £1 billion deficit. Now, taxpayers are being asked to pay for more and more and more. And the army is being sent in to shovel the rubbish that migrant communities have left strewn across the city. There's no community there anymore. There's no sense of public decency there anymore. There's no sense of, a place, somewhere to belong anymore. But what there is a destination for multicultural society, and many people come from countries in the third world where piling rubbish on the streets is acceptable. That is not to mitigate the behaviour of the bin collectors. They've behaved abominably. But let me tell you what Labour MPs, some 20 of them, have been up to in the past week or so in order to deal with the problem in Birmingham. They've called for a new airport in Kashmir. Yes, that's right. Unbelievably, there's been a meeting amongst Labour MPs where instead of debating the issues that are facing this country, instead of debating poverty, instead of debating the issue of trying to do a trade deal with the United States of America, instead of debating the whole issue of cats the size of rats, as Lee Anderson said, sorry, rats the size of cats, as Lee Anderson said in his intervention in the House of Commons, they're talking about the fact that there should be an airport in Kashmir. Let me read to you the names of the MPs. And look, I'm just going to read the names. I'm just going to read the names of the people that have decided to support this. Mohammed Yassin MP, Zabir Ahmed MP, Tahir Ali MP, Rosina Khan MP, Tamjit Desir MP, Adnan Hussein MP, Imran Hussein MP, Kubain Hussein, he's a member of the House of Lords, Asvad Khan MP, Abislam Mohammed MP, Lord Mohammed of Tilsley, Yasmin Qureshi, Naz Shah, Zaya Sultan MP, and there are others, Andrew Pake, Stella Creasy and others. But what does that tell you about these MPs? Well, first of all, they have a perfect right to advocate for whatever they want. But what is the commonality there? Actually, they're not defending the United Kingdom. Now, some of you are going to say in the comment section, they're only interested in Islam, whatever. Doesn't matter whether they're only interested in Islam. In the same way as if everybody came over who was Greek, were only interested in the Thessalonica Underground, which, by the way, has been a complete nightmare because they keep digging up remains of stuff. But it doesn't matter whether they're interested in Pakistan or Greece or Moldova or wherever it is that they're interested in. These people are not elected as genuine British members of Parliament standing up for Britain. They're elected in order to just be representatives of a factional cause group. As we know, there is a war between India and Pakistan over Kashmir. By the way, one day somebody's going to lose and have to keep it. Ha ha ha, the old jokes are the best. But on a serious note, when you look at the crisis that is taking place in Britain. I was out in Gloucester today, and Gloucester's a comparatively wealthy area. There's real poverty. And I'll tell you why there's real poverty, because even people earning a good wage, say $35,000 a year, are really struggling at the moment with this cost of living crisis. And at the same time, what we're telling our country and our government to do is to support the building of a new airport in Kashmir. And I'll tell you why we want to do that, in order to provoke the Indians, simply because the purpose of all this is to say there's more Pakistanis in Britain than there are Indians, therefore the British government should support Pakistanis. This is crazy. We are importing the arguments from across the third world into the United Kingdom. We're importing the problems across the third world into the United Kingdom. You know the reason why the police aren't brave enough to knock on my door? Hello, everyone in the unit that's watching this. But the reason they're not brave enough to knock on my front door is because I'm very clear. I don't want to import the problems of the third world to the United Kingdom. You know the problem with Somalia? It's a shithole. Do you know the problem with Pakistan? It's a shithole. And I'm happy saying that simply because it's, you know, it's almost like an alcoholic. When you accept you've got a problem, that is the first step towards fixing it. The solution, if you think that Tehran is dreadful, is not to make Britain more like Tehran, it's to fix Tehran. But what do we now think in this country? I was stunned. The Member of Parliament for Slough signed this. His name's, I forget his name, and I don't want to make it up, but it's something like the guy was called Tam something or other. So when he became the Member of Parliament for Slough, you think about this. When he became the Member of Parliament for Slough, people asked him, how can you be a county councillor in Kent and also the Member of Parliament for Slough? And you know the answer he gave publicly? He said, but that's where the two biggest Sikh communities are in the United Kingdom. So as far as he was concerned, he wasn't there to be a Member of Parliament. He was there to be the Sikh delegate to the British Parliament. And if Sikhs lived in Kent, he would represent them in Kent. And if Sikhs lived in Slough, he would represent them in Slough. But what about ordinary voters? You know, I'm half Greek, half Irish, a little bit Scottish and whatever. I would never in my life seek to support a Greek-Irish, bit Scottish delegate to the House of Commons. But if you import people and ask them to not integrate into the United Kingdom, then that is the end result. Shame on the council in Birmingham, but you already know that I've said that. I supported Ant Middleton when he said that the army shouldn't be sent in to clear the rubbish, and I agree with that. By the way, somebody had a go at me saying, I can't believe you've said that Ant Middleton's made mistakes and not venerated him for his public service, when literally that's what I'd said. But where are we now? Well, I'll tell you what we're up to with the Uni Party, with the Lib Lab Con coalition. We're up to a group of people, and I hope that they will change. And I think the Conservative Party might, by the way. I want them to change from this idea of what have we got for the gay community? What have we got for the black community? What have we got for the Asian community? I remember Steve Norris. Do you remember him with the massive melon head who basically who'd had more women than anybody else I'd ever met in my life? He once said, when somebody asked him what he was going to do for the gay community in London, he said he was going to make the tubes run on time. And everyone aghast. And he said, well, hang on a second. You know, it's not about the gay community, the black community, the Asian community, the Chinese community. It's about trying to get to work on time. That's what most people want. So I want to rebuke those MPs who have decided that an airport in Kashmir, which, by the way, apparently is like 80 miles from Lahore anyway, but they want an airport in Kashmir rather than dealing with the problems of Britain. But that's your country, that's my country, that's the way it goes. And if you want to change that country, please donate to the Patriot Fund. The link is below. Till next time, goodbye.